we are going to be talking about, we're going to be starting off with talking about volume 4 of Chainsaw Man that we have been reading through together to go do these reviews. If you want to see how we started, go check out the previous episodes. So, volume 4. Um, let's see. So, it starts off with Makima. She's back.
She
uh,
survived. Go figure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, one of the big characters that we are interested in finding out more about. She didn't just get taken,
I
out on
don't
the
think they
third
could
volume.
have gotten rid of her. So, I mean, think about what that would do to Denji. He's already on the borderline
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And what do you do with the? Uh, I don't want to say the show. We don't know enough, how it could be without her yet at this point. But like, she's like the main interest and the main brain behind like their whole team and everything going on about that. So like, who picks up the torch if that were to happen? But thankfully, it didn't happen, so we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So you saw in like at the end of volume 3 that like she and the rest of the other guys that she was with got shot. And then, the next volume, she's fine and the guy's like, how did you survive or whatever, something along those lines. And then she
She just
obviously
completely
defeats him.
annihilates him.
Yeah. So like my note is that there's something that was, shown to like have like a cliffhanger for the end of volume 3, but that's not actually what happened. Because my head, you could take it as two different things. Either that really happened and she reversed it in some way that we don't know yet, or we were led to believe that is what happened or what the story is. But what really happened is something that she did where she avoided it, whatever it is, somehow.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions here, and Makima's just. We end up seeing some of her abilities, and everybody has to be blindfolded when she does this. And it's just
Yeah.
insane what she does. She actually is killing at a distance, huge distance. Like
Yeah.
she's not even in the same city, and all of a sudden these guys are just dying, and not nicely either. Oh,
Yeah. And then she also like I thought I noted it. She like pulled everyone to safety, maybe temporarily. It seemed like she pulled back like different people to like avoid her attack because they weren't there by the end of it. They were like some of them were like where they had their fight occur by the end of Makima using her ability. So it's not like she pulled them out and then they stayed out. It seemed like she kind of like put them in a safe spot next to her and then did her attack and then put them back. That's what I don't know. That's what I thought happened
yeah.
while she was cleaning house.
I have
It was
no
very
clue
wild.
how she did that or how it works. It is kind of curious. I don't know what. Yeah, it's just insane seeing what she's able to do, and she's avoiding all of her companions and just killing everybody around them.
Yeah, she's the
I
powerhouse
think
that we thought she was.
so. Some clues I saw from that little section is she did have someone. She had a bunch of death row prisoners come out, and she told them to say a name, and then she would do something, and then all of a sudden, the
Oh,
guy would die. So I think it
maybe
has
that's
something
what
to
I
do
got
with
confused
that.
with.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know exactly how her power works, but I think it has something to do with with them saying the name. But my question is, how does she know their names?
That's true. Well, maybe she has a lot more intel than we are led to believe because I mean she evaded, the attack on her, which we also talked about on the previous episode is that she had she had to have known that this was coming and let it run its course and knew that she could pull everyone out, this and that, or she reacted and she's just so overpowered that like they weren't ever going to be able to do it because later on in the volume everyone is terrified on the opposing side of Makima and they're like, you didn't get her, oh my god, we have to like pretty much they're in hiding, you know?
What's the status? Is she dead? Is she dead? I thought you guys said that she was dead. Ah!
Yeah. Yeah,
We
she's
don't
like the
have any
Gojo.
contact with that team anymore. Well, dang it.
Yeah, she's like the Gojo, you know, JJK when he gets through that barrier and it's like, "Oh, it's curtains." Like
We're screwed.
Gojo's out.
Retreat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe I got. Yeah, but not to go on just a whole Makima, you know, hype train. A lot did happen. So Himeno sacrificed herself
Mm-hmm.
for Aki.
Making a
That
ghost.
was
Seeing that fur form of the
yeah,
ghost is very interesting.
yeah,
Especially since
and
we
that was
also
pretty
see that
sad.
ghost again at the end of the end of the volume, which we'll get
Yeah,
to.
yeah, and that was pretty sad because you know Denji points it out too that that was like one of, if not his only, like actual friend he had made. Like real friend, not just someone he knows like power and they just are kind of like acquaintances because of the situation they're in. But like she was like, you know, I forgot how she said it, but she's pretty much along the lines of like, yeah, do you want to be my friend or we're friends or something like that, right? And he was, you know, genuinely happy about it, and it was like a big win for Denji, like with the party, and then they all went out and had drinks, and you know they're all on the up and up, and then like right after that they become like official friends, and so you're like, oh, things are going great, and then literally immediately that happens. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough.
Not much after that fight, you end up finding out that Aki only has 2 years left to live.
Yeah,
Shows how
which
much that using that spike or sword or whatever he has just drains
yeah,
his life so quickly.
yeah. How long has he had it? What's the, you know,
How many times has he
if he
used
keeps
it, and
using it?
how much
Yeah,
life has he lost just for using that?
yeah. A lot of questions in the air because then you know obviously it leads to like does he you know does he keep progressing? Is he have to do a big sacrifice? How big does it have to be? You know, it can't. How long? I don't know.
It this chapter
It,
actually shows a lot of the limitations to his ability. Curse he can't use anymore because he loses too much life.
yep.
He couldn't use his fox devil either. He because of when he ate the sword feed or whatever he was. He's
I
just
thought it was the
like
girl, the
no.
blonde.
He attacked the sword guy, and he's just like this isn't normal. This doesn't taste like a human or a devil, and he slices
Oh no,
out
you're
of the
right because he was scared of the
fox.
girl. He was
Yes, the
terrified of the girl, but
ghost
he ate
the
him. Yes.
ghost was terrified of the girl and didn't want to attack. And the only way that the ghost would attack was when Hami, what was her name? I have that. Um, Himino sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of insane uh, how much he lost during that fight. To the point that he's pretty
Yeah.
much a lot of his arsenal is gone.
Yep. Yeah. And then, uh, yeah, they lost to Himeno. Yeah,
They
we've
lost
covered
a
more
lot of.
about the
I think the only ones that are still living among the special division is the ones that were actually fiends or had some sort of major devil attachment. I think almost all the humans were gone, and
Yeah.
that little section just was devastating to them.
It was. Yeah, that one was quite a turn of events considering everything that you know, everything that's been put into place to kind of set up for all right, like here's the characters, here's the world, here's how this is all situated. Now we're going to start shifting gears and actually start telling you the story, which it did disappoint.
And of course, the first thing we get is a training arc. Ugh.
Yes.
So we get introduced to another new character. I believe his name was
Yep.
Kishibe. He doesn't get really announced his name till later on. I don't think they even. I think they just tell.
You're right. It is.
Yeah, I think they tell him to begin with, just to call him Master. I think towards the end of that volume, he actually
Yes.
says when he's introducing himself to some other people, he's like, "I'm Kishibe." I think that's what I figured
Yep.
out because I was looking for his name when I was going back to try to put my notes on.
I
I'm like,
know. It was
where
the
the heck
end of
is it? I
it.
thought it was said
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we get his
It was like
name
the
towards the end
very
of the
end of it.
volume, but it was Kishibe. He goes
Yep.
on a training arc with Power and Denji, completely kills him. I'm not kidding. He kills him and
Yep.
brings him back to life
Kills
because
Denji. Which he was also noted as
the first thing he
Kishibe
does is
was
breaks both their
I had
necks.
yes. So Kishibe was I had seen the note, this is why I put it there, that he was like the strongest devil hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure is quite the claim, right? And so for him to just go clown on them the whole time, like, was one hilarious, but two,
Honestly,
like,
I got a good
holy
laugh
crap.
at the end of the first day of training, and they're like, we gotta use our intelligence, we gotta use our
Use
brains.
brains.
I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Denji and Power using brains? What the
I
heck?
loved it because then them talking in the way they did about it, like, showed their intelligence, right? Was hysterical. They're like, yeah,
They
brain
did some
power,
good
blah, blah, blah.
tactics there, like putting
They
Power's
did.
blood into bottles to have it spike down on top of them. That was actually pretty smart.
Yep. Yeah.
Not that
But
it
then,
helped
so
them at
there was a
all.
part. Yeah, so there was a part 2 on the immortal or them dying thing. So he had Kishibe had noted that Denji was an immortal.
Mhm.
And then he noted that Power was a semi-immortal. And I would imagine you could split hairs on what that exactly means. Like, do neither of them age and then Power can actually die versus Denji can't? He'd have to be constrained or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, how I understood it is like Denji actually died 20 times, and that Power probably got defeated 20 times too, but not like
He wasn't
actually killed.
going. Yeah, that's true. He was full on killing Denji, but wasn't. I don't know if he
Yeah,
was fully killing Power because blood can do a lot
I
for
don't
the
think so.
teens, but I'm not sure. It never shows how far he goes with either one of them. We do know that Denji was getting killed, so I mean
Yeah,
he gets
and
a knife
so
thrown right into his head. So
yeah, and one of the things I kind of wanted to like, you know, pick at for that is that means Denji, he, if he has blood around, he is not going down. It's like he is being set up to be just this absolute tank, you know?
Mhm.
So the fact that he's an immortal and then literally the volume before him literally drinking blood of another devil is fueling him, whether it's his endurance and his healing or one or the other. He was, you know, he was keeping pace until that devil was finally just like, kill me, you know? Like Denji is, even if his attack power is, you know, on the lower side, or speeds, you know, on the lower side compared to someone like Kishibe or Makima, he is an absolute unit, and you're gonna have to like restrain him like Wolverine from Marvel. Like,
You have to
good
make
luck.
sure there's no blood around him at all to defeat him.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. He's gonna be a big problem, and maybe that's why the Gun Devil is, I don't know, out for him. I don't want to say
Yeah.
afraid of him because we don't know yet. But I mean, if he can feed off the devil's blood, which other devils haven't really shown that to be, I don't know if not a thing, but of interest, because the Bat one wasn't fond of eating Denji's blood, but had, if it did help him in their fight, you would have thought he would have gone for Denji's blood then because they were fighting, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know. It makes me think a little bit, couple layers on like, is it just Denji that can, or is it because he's chainsawing everyone and it's everywhere? Like that's a benefit for him, that it's literally flowing whenever he makes contact with somebody.
There's something about the chainsaw devil that makes him really powerful. And the question is, what is
Yeah,
causing this?
yeah,
Yep.
super scary.
But
Um,
so to continue on, what did you think about
yeah,
Aki's new partner? Because like I said, he lost a
the
lot of his
future devil.
arsenal. Yeah, he makes a deal with the future devil, and I'm curious
Yeah,
about
so
how
he
much of a
had.
power up that's going to be.
That's interesting because they obviously don't really talk much about what that devil can do, but they do kind of emphasize a lot of, well, um, the bigger the contract, the more you'll get, kind of thing. right? And then they specifically told him, this is the devil we want you to make a contract with. And so that leads to believe he's a big bad devil, right? Not just
Yeah,
some
he's supposed to be
slouch that
one
can
of.
do
He's
something
supposed to be
basic.
more powerful than the fox devil and the probably about the same as a cursed devil, without as much of a sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah, so he
Kind
didn't
of.
even like give up his eye. He just let him live in his eye, right?
Yep.
So it's not like Himino's with the ghost, right? So
And the
he
future
did
devil,
mention,
they did mention that had contracts with other people, and they were mentioning what the
yeah,
last few contracts were, and they were insane. Like I think one of them they had to give up both their eyes, and I think
yeah.
another one was I don't remember what the first one they mentioned was, but it was also pretty insane.
I think it was Life's Plan. Yeah,
Probably that sounds
yeah.
about right. But for him, he's just like, let me
But
live in your eyes. I want to see what happens. I want to see your ending. So it's something. It's gonna be
yeah,
something amazing if the future devil will just want to sit there and watch.
yeah, because he did mention that he knows his ending is going to be brutal.
Hmm.
And one of the things I think is um, underlying with that note is that could he be the reason that that happens? So at the point that Aki would die, would the future devil be the one to be the reason it's a brutal ending because he was already making that contract? Or was it going to happen anyway? And if I would, I don't know. It's hard to say with the future devil, especially with how powerful he's supposed to be, but we don't know enough yet of what it can do yet.
Yeah, I
But
think
when
we're
you
gonna
hear
have to wait and
future,
see.
I mean, does he have some sort of foresight in combat that's going to make him, cracked out of his mind to go
I mean,
evade like
now
crazy?
at the end of it, we saw him just using a normal sword, not even a stake. So it's got to be something that's significant enough that he doesn't feel like he needs to carry that around.
Yep. Yeah. No, he's gonna. I mean, everyone's starting to get a level up. It seems like
They
it's
kind of
like, all
have
right.
to.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we get to see a lot more
Yeah.
devils and fiends at the end of it, which some of those I found interesting. I mean, we got the shark fiend that can swim through
Yeah.
concrete, violence fiend that can that somehow still holds the power. Which they mentioned that there's multiple violence fiends, violence devils, but usually when they
Yep.
become a fiend, they lose a lot of the power, and this one didn't. To the point that he has to wear a mask that I'm guessing it has
To
some sort of
restrain him a little bit.
sedative or something in it, because it says do not take it off under any circumstances.
Yeah.
We got the
Yeah.
spider devil and the angel devil, which is the only two devils that they mentioned in there. I think the angel devil is the
Yeah.
one
The
that I
angel
find
one's scary.
most interesting. So
Yes.
that one doesn't harm humans. It's actually the only one that has no ill intent to humans. But instead,
Yep.
anybody who touches it loses, starts having their life drained away from them. So
Yep.
pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm excited to see that. And so I did have a couple other notes before that where Makima is chatting with Kishibe. And so when they were having their chat, Makima shares that her goal was to pretty much protect all people from devils. And then Kishibe calls her a liar, right? You can see he
Mm,
ponders it for a second and then calls her a liar. And then that conversation pretty much ends, at least from our perspective, where she just gives a grin, right? And it's implying that she has a different goal. So, which I feel like we wouldn't have accepted anyway, even if he didn't call her a liar. Because, I mean, since the first time you meet her, you're like, there's something off about her. I don't know what it is, but she's not everything that
we only
you
get like
just see.
snippets. We only seen the tip of the iceberg she wants us to see.
Yes. So I thought that was good to give us some foreshadowing of she puts on this facade to different folks to see if they can understand her actual intent is not that. But obviously we'll have to find out more. Let's see. She's trying to gain more intel from the monsters, took the eyes of the family. Oh, yeah. So then she went to I think it was some mobsters,
Yeah.
and she like was talking with them to get more information on different folks. I think it was like the different. I put monsters. Maybe it was devil specifically. And she came with a bag, of their family members' eyeballs as a negotiating tactic to just be like, "Hey, I'm serious. These could go back," which is also crazy.
I
I
find
feel
it
like we're in
hilarious.
Naruto.
Yeah, she was just like, "Oh yeah, here's the eyeballs all you found. We got somebody who can put these back in, but that's only if you cooperate."
Yeah, yeah, and then immediately, one of the guys went to retaliate at her, and she just gave a simple look, and they started having a nosebleed.
And
But then it like
down.
the next panel was all over him. Like it wasn't just like, "Oh, I'm gonna scare you, ooga booga." Is like, no, like you might die.
Yeah, he was on the ground, and something was definitely happening with him. She is very
Yeah.
powerful.
So
That all she has to do is have a look at someone and they die. Oof.
yeah, she is such a question mark of what, because it could be. This is where like I honestly have a blast reading through different anime or manga and trying to understand who can do what, because it could be as restrictive as like My Hero Academia, where everyone has one ability but they have a million different ways they come up with how to use it, or it could be something crazy like Naruto or Bleach, where there's like a gazillion abilities that you can learn or you just have inherited. And anyway, so like it's interesting to me of like what is the extent of what she can and can't do, and when would she and would she not use abilities, because
Yeah,
she's
she definitely
definitely
has
got
more
her
than
own agenda.
one, and we don't know the extent of her abilities, even how they activate. We get little hints
Yeah,
here and there, but it's insane.
I feel like yeah, I feel like the only hint that I can really, I guess, call a hint, because we haven't seen it yet, is it's something with her eyes. Her eyes aren't just basic character eyes that like 90% of the characters we've seen have. She has a little bit of a different design on her eyes that makes me think that something about her eyes that makes it unique. And then on top of that, with the blindfold, like
Yeah,
you
they
know,
everybody had to have
I feel like
blindfolds, even the people that she was working with.
yeah, because maybe if she restricts her eyes to what she can't see, then then it allows her to focus on a different channel, kind of like flipping a card, right? So if it's face up one way, eyeballs are open, she can do this. If it's face down, which means she can't see, then these abilities happen. I don't know.
Hmm. Interesting theory. Guess we got to read on.
Yeah. I know. I'm super excited. She's very interesting. Denji, I'm also very excited to see what he's gonna be, because like we talked about, with him being built to just be this absolute immortal tank, I get literally Wolverine vibes from him, of like his animalistic nature. He's
Yeah,
very
he's actually very similar
um
to Rivalry. I didn't even think about that.
yeah. Yeah, he's just this big healing machine. His chainsaws obviously, compared to the adamantium. Um And then, yeah, I mean, his teeth literally are, animalistic. He's not walking around sniffing and calling people bub, but like, for the most part, like he's got a lot of similarities that are setting him up to be that way. Um, and Denji, like Wolverine, isn't normally um, loyal to some particular squad or team. He just gets his friend groups and then goes and supports
Hmm.
them. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Volume 5. I was a little upset when I got to the end of 4 because I
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to
such a
keep going.
cliffhanger. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, we gotta
so
stop this
I'm
because we
excited.
promised to do it this way.
Yes, yes. Anyway, yes, I'm very excited to
Continue
continue reading
on
that.
chapter
Maybe
5, volume 5. It's
to
actually
Volume
where
5. Yep.
I think it's
Yeah.
people want to follow along. I believe we're in chapter 35 to 44.